let's talk some NBA in-season tournament. By the way, we did find the committee. Maybe we'll find some more time today to talk about it, but there's a few names on here. First of all, I don't even want them on the committee.
Whoa!
So
Get out of here.
Voting for Lou, I'm sure they probably didn't like Lou anyway. So. Personal. Yeah, I mean, it's always personal reasons. But let's talk some NBA. And let's start with the question, do you think it's working? Do you think that we have more interest as opposed to we just love the NBA, we want to watch the NBA because you're throwing money at the players to do their job? Or do we think, hey, this is working?
I think it's working for the players. I think that, Halliburton had his first triple-double last night. I don't know
if he was motivated by the in-season.
I think he's staying in longer. Look at who plays and who doesn't play. Our man Jordan Hawkins got 0 minutes last night, coach's decision. And I didn't like it. They won the game. But they held the rookies out. They are on the court putting a pretty good effort. I don't know if it's playoff effort.
40 minutes.
Dude never plays 40 minutes. Not in December. Why would you do that? Home game for the Pacers. It's great. Now, as far as are you whoever wins this, my Pacers go to Vegas and they end up hoisting this stupid trophy that we paint on all the courts. Whatever. Good for them.
To your point, Halliburton averages 34 and a half minutes.
Look at that, Kurt. 6 extra minutes for you.
Yep, I'm riveted.
Now, fan-wise, I don't know how much this helps the fan at all. I think in the building, I can feel the more juice than what you normally would in a regular season game. I listened to Mike Breen on the morning show this morning talking about his calls do feel a little different. When New York was trying to win their final game by a certain number of points, you could feel that everyone else in the crowd knew the scenario, knew what was going on, and were rooting for that.
Knockout round.
And then now, with the knockout, winner go home, loser goes
back to the regular season.
Winner will go to Vegas.
They get a little bit of cash, but not the grand prize.
I do think, and this was the thing, was to try to make, and I hate that we're at this world where we got to give everyone a trophy just for trying, and it's not a part of your job to actually do your job. But in the effort to get these guys to play in December hard, they play a little bit harder than what they would normally play. It's unfortunate that it's got to be this way.
But it's a bad look.
But they're doing it.
But the alternative, I believe, is worse.
What?
The more load management, Halliburton maybe if he's not in the tournament.
I don't think that building's packed last night, Kurt.
30 minutes, exactly. I think the people aren't as juiced up. I think it does.
I know you don't care, but the people in Indiana, the people in Milwaukee tonight, the Lakers Suns tonight would still be a big to-do in LA.
Yes.
But I think now this game does have a little bit more meaning than just a win in the regular season column.
I think if you were busy and you had tickets to this game and you were flipping a coin for it, it's not going to be a big deal. But if it's okay, you know what? One of these teams has kind of got a little egg on their face if they get knocked out, especially if Phoenix can knock LeBron out. I got to go. I got to go to the game. I got to. The value of my ticket is, I think, worth more right now than in the years past when these dudes were just taking time off. I don't know if LeBron's going to play a lot or not tonight. I don't know if this guy's going to play a lot or not tonight. I think, Kevin Durant, maybe Kevin Durant doesn't want to play 35 minutes tonight. Maybe it's different because this is a December game. So
I'm interested to see how tonight's Phoenix-LA game goes. Just exactly what you're saying. Will these two superstars play as hard as possible to get the win? Or the one thing I've hated, and I'll say this in the playoffs, I say it almost every year, especially when it's early in a series, when a team gets down 10 points, especially in the fourth quarter, they throw the white flag up and they move to game 2 or game 3 or the next game in the series. And I hate that as well. I do. The one thing I like about this tournament is that it's one and done. It does have a feel of knockout, but, everybody goes back to the regular season and everything. We'll see. It's been more intriguing than what I thought it would be. I thought it would be more of a dud than what it has been.
Oh, I agree with that. I think, and I'm just reading some of these stories as people are trashing Ime Udoka for going after LeBron James. I don't think
really?
so. I think that
It was awesome. That was good basketball.
I thought that was great. I thought it was great television and, inspiring for the fact that this is December. First of all, you and I, we cover this. It's our job. Season drags on forever. Postseason drags on for forever and more. And it's just, something had to happen here to make sense of why are we playing so long and then playing such a long postseason when it just doesn't seem like the players are disinterested. I think it creates more interest, and I think you're certainly under a lot more scrutiny now to be doing what you should have been doing before. Listen, this is the same thing with the rule changes in MLB. Those rules were already in place. Most of them. Now you're just making it stand out more, and you're bringing a clock out where it should have been the umpire speeding things along, and so now you have a giant clock to do the work for. So a lot of this is we're going to give them a little extra money because we have a little bit of extra money. We're making a lot of money to make these guys motivated to do what we should have been motivating them to do without this whole stupid tournament.
That's the thing. That's the thing that I think is stomach turning to Kurt and a little bit to me as well, is that we have to put these extra carrots in place for you to do the job that we're already paying you so much money to do.
I don't have a problem with it because I've come to grips with it. Those are the athletes we have today. I coach young athletes today.
I'm not there.
Trying to get your kids to be interested in things today. It's not just sports. It's everything. It's everything. Trying to get your kids. You remember when we were growing up, you wanted to be on debate teams and other things and do other things because you got out there and you met people. Now we got kids that don't want to leave their bedrooms. They don't want to leave the house. And so I think that we're going to get more and more of these type of people. And so we need athletes to kind of be examples the way they should be, which is to get out there and do it. So if we've got to give them a couple more carrots to get out there and do it, listen, this is NIL. This is stuff that they deserved to have 20 years ago that they were like, no, you should be happy you've got an education. There was some ridiculous things being said by a lot of uninformed people, and for far too long, these kids were being taken advantage of. Now, are kids taking advantage of the system? We'll have to wait and see. I think we're all shocked by this whole transfer portal stuff, but this is just more of today's society as the way we know it. These guys aren't like the 80s and 90s where they take your job away from you in a second. When I played in the 80s and 90s, every week I thought I was losing my job. There's so much, and I don't like the word entitlement, but I think a lot of these guys are so not worried about their jobs because they're thinking, I'll just go do something else. Yeah. I don't think this is the biggest thing in the world anymore. So basketball is not like the end all for a lot of these basketball players anymore, I think. And we're seeing football players use their smarts and sense to say, you know what, I'm not going to bang my head against that guy for 15 years and have my brain be mush. I'm going to call it quits after 8 years. So I think we're seeing a lot more sensibilities in play here.
Did you see the new transfer portal du jour for quarterback from Alabama today and what Mr. Buckner did? So quarterback from Alabama, is it Tyler Buckner? I forget his first name. Mr. Buckner. We'll call him Mr. Buckner. Not only is he transferring out of Alabama, he is transferring as a lacrosse player, and he already knows the school he is going to go to. It has been reported that Alabama's Buckner will be transferring to Tyler Buckner. I was right on that. Wow. Tyler Buckner will transfer to national champion Notre Dame as a lacrosse player. Now, he was at Notre Dame before Alabama when Notre Dame had a quarterback who did not want to play in the bowl game, left the team in 2022, and that's when Tyler Buckner stepped in to be the quarterback of Notre Dame for the Gator Bowl, where he became the Gator Bowl MVP. Wow, Tyler, thanks for stepping in. Maybe you're the starter next year. Oh, you're transferring to where? Alabama? Wow, you're in the college football playoff. Awesome. Congratulations. Maybe you'll get some time if that Milroe guy gets hurt. Oh, wait, you're transferring to where? Back to Notre Dame to play football? No, lacrosse. Wow.
It's not supposed to be the hokey pokey. That's not the idea of the portal, is to put one foot in, turn yourself about.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
I
But
don't know. It's
I'll tell
turning
you right
out
now,
bad.
since this portal opened, 28 quarterbacks, I'm just going with quarterbacks, have entered the portal already to change schools.
Let me see if I can get a count for you. On my
I don't know what the overall count is, but I'm sure it's in the hundreds and thousands.
Well, it was at 900 yesterday as far as total kids in the portal.
But, I mean, I saw the point today that they were talking about that 3 of the 4 Heisman candidates are transfers. And listen, the one thing I am for is choice. And especially, the choice years ago that I used to always squawk about was if your head coach leaves, you should have the opportunity to leave right there behind him and go and play immediately. Now, some of these other guys, I don't know. The transferring every year, they've got to put some kind of cap on that. I don't think you should be able to transfer 3 years out of 3 years and go and start the next year. There's got to be a limit to some of this transferring stuff. But in the end, I know it was just brought up today that they're now asking schools to agree to that they can pay NIL right out of the school.
That's from
pocket.
the NCAA.
The NCAA
president.
That's right, is saying, listen, we don't even need businesses to step up anymore. If a university has the money and they want to step up, I'm all for that.
Dude,
because UConn needs to do that.
It got so out of their hands so quick. Like they realized, all right, we can't control this. Everybody's cheating. We're just going to say it's cool. Like they're trying to come up with this tier system. It was a big bowl of mumbo jumbo.
The tier, it's quickly becoming haves and have-nots, and it's who's got the better boosters, who's got the better connections.
But still, there's nothing that they can do to police this whatsoever, and they realize that. So they're basically putting it on the books that their rules are no more.
The problem with a multi-billion-dollar nonprofit. I'm doing air quotes here because someone's making some money somewhere.
Oh, they just put that money in a safe somewhere.
They don't have the manpower or women power. They don't have the bodies. No. They don't have anybody that can oversee that. They can't even. They don't even have you. You have to be what's the department when you're not doing the right thing or the wrong thing. What do they call that? Compliance. You don't have enough people to handle the compliance complaints that are going on in school. There's no way you could follow around the athletes and know how they're getting their money and how they're getting their NIL and all that kind of stuff. So trust me, the government's right now trying to tax all that money that these athletes are making. That's going to be another nightmare, but it's going to happen. But I think right now, these people that should have been getting some kind of handle on this, they haven't had a handle on a lot of the NCAA in years.
1,060 football players in the transfer portal as we speak. 1,060. Out of those 1,060, so far 12 have committed.
Well, and here's the reality. Are there 1,060 jobs out there that are open and available? And I'm talking for the quality of player, getting more playing time. Like some of these guys are actual starters that are looking to upgrade. Well, if you're already at a pretty good school like in Oregon or something like that, are you really, Texas, Alabama, some of these schools where these guys are bolting right now, you're going to have to go Big Ten or you're going to have to go to the SEC for those answers.
So now we're talking all this, just quick math here. We have 1,000, I just said 1,000 already. You told me 4,000 players last year.
Yes.
That's just football
like 3,900.
There are 85 scholarships per Division I football team. There's roughly 135 Division I football teams. That leaves 11,475 potential full ride scholarships there for college football. So,
which we know a lot of them already been taken,
now
right?
You got to also remember there's an influx of 25 potential high schoolers that are coming into each program. So that's new blood. Now, also, you got to remember there's a bunch of NFL prospects and graduate seniors that are going to be leaving the workplace. I should just call it the workplace. But man, in the numbers we're looking at, I like this on 3 because they put an NIL value. So Cam Ward from Washington State, that quarterback that hit the portal, they put an NIL value of Cam Ward, quarterback again from Washington State, at $829,000.
How about Nate Johnson, 4-star QB out of Utah?
Let me go down.
I'm trying to find the highest ranked guys. How about this guy from Georgia, Brock Vandegrift.
I'm on him right now. So he is a third-string Georgia quarterback, redshirt sophomore, got a couple of years. He was a 5-star coming out of high school, but just a 4-star in the transfer portal.
Got 92 grade right now.
92 grade. That's worth $150,000 minimum. That's a good deal right there.
Pretty good deal for being third string.
Kurt says thumbs up. Go get him.
Zion Turner, 3-star out of UConn.
Oh, Zion Turner. I do not know his price tag right now. He is not on my tops list, but I can give you UConn's Justin Jolie. This one might blow your mind. Now, again, this is from
Let's say $1 million.
on3.com.
Million minimum.
No, not $1 million.
$500,000.
$333,000.
That's still pretty good. That's minimum, right?
That's crazy to me. I'm sorry. That's crazy to me. How many touchdowns did you see him get? Like 2 touchdowns for UConn? We were not the best on the passing game. I'm sorry. We were not good. We were one of the worst teams in the country for the last 2 years in the passing game. I love the kid, and I said personally, this guy has something. I think he has got serious potential. $250,000 for him? That's the going rate?